The U.S. has condemned Iran's seizure of an oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman. The tanker is reported to have been boarded by armed intruders near the Omani coast before its tracking device was turned off and it turned towards Iran. It's carrying more than 100,000 tons of crude oil. The vessel is called the St. Nicholas, and it was seized by the United States last year over sanctions imposed on Iran. Aslani is a journalist and senior research fellow at the Center for Middle East Strategic Studies in Tehran, and he's joining us live from there. Good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. Why would Iran seize this tanker?
Well, this development seems to have two dimensions. One that is related to the flexing of muscles between Iran and the United States over the implementation of economic sanctions against Iran. Back in April 2023, the United States confiscated Iranian oil that was being carried by the same oil tanker. But the vessel was crossing the Sea of Oman. That's why at this timing, Iran seized the tanker. The second dimension is related to the, let's say, the Gaza war, which is ongoing. And we have been seeing that Yemenis, recently they have been trying to target vessels linked to Israel in order to put pressure on Tel Aviv to stop the attacks on the people of Gaza. But the United States now seems to be helping Israelis in order to put pressure on Yemenis. And let's say these two issues, combined together can be somehow more meaningful within this context.
I mean, the U.S. has pulled together a multi-nation task force, it says, and it's involving several different vessels from different fleets in order to be able to try and protect shipping from attacks by Houthis in Yemen. Is there a risk, do you think, that an action like this could be perceived as a provocation, that it might actually intensify the situation in the region?
Well, we have been seeing some moves by Israelis and the United States which have been provocative against Iran. And recently, as you stated, the Americans want to create a kind of coalition against Yemenis and the Houthis because they think that the attacks by Houthis have been putting pressure on Israel, and it has created risks for the transit of the ships in the region. That's why, these kind of actions and reactions could create a kind of escalation. And it seems that both sides try to play the game at the high level of pressure and to push to the limits of the other sides in order, let's say, to stop the opposing side. And that's why I think this could somehow be interpreted within the context of the Gaza war. One side wants to stop the war, the other side wants to support Israelis. And that's why this is part of the game, both parties trying to pressure each other.
Yep. Just very briefly, I wanted to ask, there was a statement that came out from the company Tupras in Turkey that was saying that the St. Nicholas was carrying Iraqi crude oil from Iraq. Is there a risk, do you think, that as a result of that, this is going to bring Iraq as another element, if you like, into a very difficult situation and make it a triumvirate between the US and Iran?
Well, I think this could be quite understandable for the Iraqi government as well as the Turkish one, because they know that this is a retaliation against the moves by the United States against Iran and not against Baghdad or Ankara. So Iran wants to make sure and clear that if even Americans confiscate Iranian oil, they have to pay the price. And this could be quite meaningful ahead of the presidential election in the United States. And Iran wants to somehow, make American administration to understand that if they want to create a kind of escalation as they are approaching to the election, so this could have kind of, let's say, surprises for them. This could bring up, escalation. So this could be interpreted from this perspective, I think.
Aslani, we appreciate you joining us on Al Jazeera. Thank you very much indeed.
Welcome. Thank you.